tuned in to Guerilla Cross Radio.
Yo, what's up, and welcome to another episode of Unnamed Sports Show right here on Guerilla Cross Radio, streaming live on GorillaCross.com, the Guerilla Cross app, Facebook Live on the Guerilla Cross page. I'm your host, Quan59, and the NBA trade deadline has come and gone, and there's a lot of action today. Maybe one of the busiest couple days in a long time in NBA. Last year we had a lot too, though, but today seemed like a lot of big players, big names. I'm your host, Quan59. I got my man, just in time, Joshua Williams in the building. What's good?
It's quiet in here. It's a little colder.
You know what, though? We always have good.
Oh, yeah. The chemistry is always there.
It's like Jalen and Jacoby times 2. It's even better.
I was gonna say.
I really think it is.
Jordan and Pippen, but I won't let you know.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the media. I'm not mad at the media like KD.
So we're gonna on his head already.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that today. Get our opinions on the KD tirade.
It was a tirade. I can at least give you that. That's for sure.
So there's, we'll talk about that. A lot of NBA trades. Some sad news in baseball that we'll talk about. And I'm not just talking about the season coming up.
See, that actually was fun.
Yeah, it was. And I made that up off the top of the dome. But we are here live. Make sure you check out the Guerilla Cross app. Download that. It is free. Can you say free stuff? Free stuff. Make sure you get it. It's free. We got live 24/7 positive hip-hop and sports station going on right there. So check out all the shows that are on there. All the podcasts and archive videos are right there for you. So we're excited to be here today. I hope you're excited to be tuned in with us. If you're watching live on the Facebook live feed, please share that feed with us and for us. And we'll be taking your calls too, 702-608-3259. Our man Death Star Dave is going to be calling in on location.
On location.
From the world famous Las Vegas Strip in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh,
so I'm excited, man. How you feeling, Josh?
I'm doing pretty good. Had a good up and back trip to Cali last night, and had to come to peace with a member of my past. So
you want to talk about that or not?
No, I mean I can talk about it. I mean, have had at least some built up animosity towards a particular player. I'll say his name is Mac. We'll just leave it there.
It's not Craig Mack.
No flavor in your ear.
No flavor in your ear. Rest in peace, Craig.
That is sad. But it was good. Bumped into him. And there wasn't. I always felt like he had the similar amount of anger towards me, and so that was kind of what fueled me holding on to my hate. but there wasn't any there. So I immediately had to let it go.
Isn't that funny, though, that we could hold bitterness for something, and then that other person might not even realize that exists because they might not be feeling what you think they're feeling.
Yeah.
And it's something that I've talked about this before. We talk about this type of subject a lot on Speak Live Radio. Tune in this Friday, 2 p.m. for that. That's tomorrow. But we talk about that where, like, you have this built up, like, perception of what they might be thinking about you.
Yeah.
And it could be totally wrong.
Sure.
But something that could be dealt with in a 5-minute conversation could be held on for 5 years.
Yeah. Well,
and that damages you, but that damages you personally more than it does the other person.
For sure.
And, having that bitterness built in. So, everybody out there, let it go. If you got somebody that you're bitter towards, let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go. This has been a Speak Life Radio moment on Unnamed Sports Show.
And I forgive everyone, all the time. But that one just, for whatever reason, and when it like it happened, when I really came to grips with it and thought about it, I was like, that might be what's holding me back.
Yeah.
Been holding me back all this time. Never knew. So I prayed on it, and so we'll keep giving it to God.
There's a book by his name's John Bevere called The Bait of Satan. It talks about offense and bitterness and all that, and how that will affect you, even if you're not the one in the wrong.
Yeah.
You holding on to that affects you more and can hold you back from the things you're supposed to do, and you have to let go, forgive, move on to be able to really, succeed in what your full potential is.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good. Because I had a friend like that back in the day. He did me wrong, but then it was my sin that was holding me back because I had that unforgiveness in my heart towards what was going on. You know what I'm saying? And once I finally hit him up, 2-minute conversation. Bro, man, I appreciate you being the bigger man calling me.
Oh.
But it went on for 2 years.
Yeah. 2 minutes.
And this
for
was
2
like
years.
one of the dudes in the circle, and like we were doing hip hop out here for a while together, and it held everyone back because of what we were going through.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So once that was let go, you just felt this freedom on all ends, and it was good, So I always encourage people to let it go. And listen, man, if you have a friend, if you have somebody in your life that you had some issues with, you don't have to be best friends with them anymore.
Sure.
Forgiving doesn't mean like have the same relationship you had with them.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people need to like realize too. Like, just because you swallow your pride and break that, but sometimes it might like bring that friendship back where it's like, you know what, man? Yeah, let's.
We were always good friends.
Yeah.
But other times it is definitely like, I can forgive you and kind of stay to myself. I mean, for me forgiving him is I don't wish ill on him anymore, and I'm not gonna try to talk bad about him anymore. Unless it's factual.
Yeah.
We can talk about stats.
Exactly.
But it was cool. It was cool, and the guy that I was with, actually was the guy that we did our tour together.
Okay.
And so like it was like the odds of that happening, like neither of us had seen him since China. So we hadn't seen him in 6 years.
And how long? Oh, 6 years.
6 years. So I had been holding on to this for 6 years. And so he's finishing up his documentary, and so he wanted to record me. And this guy, he wanted to drive and come get me, take me back to his house, do the whole thing. And I was like, look, dude, like the party's right here. I'm gonna find some place for us to set up right here. And I found this like really bomb restaurant that had like a private area.
Oh, nice.
And they just let us film in there. And it was right next door to where the party was. So if he wouldn't have done that, if we would have went back to his house, we probably wouldn't have seen Mac. And
Mac.
So yeah, but it was good. It was good.
That's good, man. That is good. So forgive, forget, move on.
Deep thoughts.
And let's get into some sports. You excited about these trades, man? The trade season has begun. Your team let go of people, got some cap relief, so that's a good thing for them.
Listen, I've said, I haven't wanted Markieff Morris on the team for probably the last 2.5 years. So when that finally happened, that was a good thing.
Yeah.
Because he's not his brother. You know what I mean? He had a moment where he was playing really well for us, and then like he doesn't play defense. He's a net negative to me.
Yeah.
So him being let go wasn't the end of the world. Now Otto, when you guys, because you guys kind of told me before I even had a chance to see it, you were like, oh, Otto got traded, and I was like, whoa, is it done? And so when I first looked, it wasn't all the way finished, but it was basically finished. And my only thing with Otto, there was two ways to trade him. You trade him for like money, try and get back somebody that's comparable at least.
Yeah.
But there really aren't that many of those players out there that anybody would want to lose to get Otto back.
Yeah.
So, and then like I said before, trading him with Kelly, maybe to have gotten a Boogie or someone like that way back when. I did like that option, but when they traded Kelly, that kind of killed that kind of stuff as well. So for us to take back dead money, money that's going to be coming off the cap, I like the move. It's almost $40 million in cap space.
And you need it because John Wall's contract extension kicks in starting next year.
It does.
So you need some relief from that.
It does.
And the fact that they weren't doing much with the players they had. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's going to necessarily hurt them.
Yeah.
You need to make that move. And I personally think it was a good move.
I think
it was a good move.
If we can go high lottery, like if we can get lucky and go high lottery, you end up replacing Otto with another good piece.
Yeah.
And you're still a very, very solid team.
Yeah.
You've got veterans. You've got not old veterans, but you have like veterans in the game that are 26. Like Brad's only 26.
Yeah.
John's 28 now. He is going to be 29 really by the time he starts to move again. But you have legit veterans around a potential star as well. I think the Wizards could be okay.
Yeah.
With cap space. So you could mess around and go get another big time player during the summer. Like say we end up getting the number 3 pick. Don't ask me why I picked that number, but say we get the 3 pick and we actually do get a piece, a 3, a wing, another wing scorer that's athletic.
And if you got the 3rd pick in the draft, you're getting a good player. You're getting somebody that, first of all, you're not going to have to pay a whole bunch.
Nope.
Is going to be on a rookie contract.
Yep. For 3 years.
And I think the top 5 players in the draft are going to be like legit. You can come in and play right away and give us 20 minutes, 30 minutes a game.
Just don't draft a Jan Vesely. That's all I'm asking. Just don't do that.
Yeah. Who else did you guys get rid of? Was anybody else in that trade with Otto?
With Otto, no, I don't believe so. Nobody that was of consequence.
Yeah.
If we let go of anybody else, it was really just 2 people.
And listen, there were so many trades, so we're gonna try to get to most of them for you.
Yeah.
But there was a lot, man. I'm still like trying to figure out what's good and what's not. I know we're gonna have Dave calling in soon to talk about it with us. So we're gonna get him online soon, and we might have another call. We're gonna get online talking about the Kevin Durant situation, where he kind of went off on the media last night, and I feel a certain way, and I see your point when we were talking offline. I'll let you give your point on air also.
Well, I mean, it really, I know we're not going to get into it too deep yet, but it really just comes down to there's a lot more. You got to always remember as a fan, even in media, like, we're media technically. Shoot, I'm getting some media perks. So we're media technically, but we're not all the way in on the inside of it. And we're not beat writers that are covering a team daily and, and kind of at all the shoot arounds and kind of really getting the atmosphere of the team or different teams rather. But there's a lot more than just the he said of SportsCenter.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can kind of change our focus and change how we feel about people too quickly, I feel like.
Yeah. Are we gonna call him? When do you want to do that?
You want to call him right now? I don't. He didn't text me back. You can give it a shot.
Okay. I mean, we can wait till he gets back with you.
All right, my phone's about to die.
Oh, I got the.
My phone's about to die,
bro.
Well, I was on a plane. And I didn't charge. It was
at
at 100.
Ask like, hey,
I know.
You got that charger?
I know.
It's actually under the booth. You need to go get it.
Under the
It's plugged into
it's
the
under,
other one
it's
on
under
that
the tent,
side.
under the tent over there.
Under the Vegas Knights tent. But yo, I want you guys to download the free Guerilla Cross app. We're going to be updating the site, so there's going to be sports news, hip-hop news, and all that going on GuerillaCross.com and the app. So make sure you get that app. It's free. We're going to be sending out updates, so make sure you accept the notifications for the app. We have Let the Ball Bounce every Tuesday and Saturday, so make sure you check them out. We have Girl Chat Sports. I love that show. They've been doing that every Wednesday, and you can find their podcast and the video replays on the app as well. But I'm excited about what's going on here at Guerilla Cross with the sports and the hip-hop. So tomorrow we have my man Sai and I. He's a hip-hop artist and a battle rapper. We're going to be having him live on the line tomorrow on Speak Live Radio, 2 p.m. West Coast time right here. And we're going to be doing an indie artist music review where we have artists send music to us and we critique it live on the air. Sometimes the music's whack. Sometimes it's good. Josh, you should sit in one time for that. Okay. To get like an outside perspective of somebody that's not necessarily in the music industry, that's just a listener of music. What are you missing? It's behind the it's over here. It's not working? Oh, it might not be plugged in. You might have to pull it all the way out and plug it in. That's what. You can plug it in behind it. But yeah, make sure you tune in for that. It's going to be a dope interview with him. And then we have somebody else coming in live in the studio that we just met. She's a hip-hop artist. I'm not sure where she's from, but she's going to be out here in Vegas doing the show. So we said, come on through. And you know how we do it at Guerilla Cross. If you haven't seen Speak Live Radio, listen, if you call yourself a rapper and you cannot freestyle, at least attempt. You don't have to be super dope. At least attempt to freestyle. We call you out, so make sure you freestyle when you come to the studio, because I will call you out. Because I'm a radio host, and I'll attempt to freestyle at least. You know what I'm saying?
I won't. I don't get paid for the attempt.
You're not a rapper either, though. No. You know what I'm saying?
No. My mind just. I've said this many times. My mind just does not work that way.
Listen, not all black people can rap. Stop stereotyping them.
Hey,
not all black people want to rap.
I never said all black people like chicken. There's certain stereotypes that don't hold weight.
Yeah, and not all white people are racist.
That's a horrible stereotype.
Well,
is that a stereotype that people actually feel like is real?
Yeah, I mean,
really? Maybe I've just always had enough white friends that it's like, no, Jimmy's not racist.
Jimmy's not racist until you leave.
No,
I'm joking. No. All right, let's get into some of these trades right now that happened in the NBA. We already talked about what happened in Washington. Lakers did not land Anthony Davis. Now, I know you have a lot of opinions on this because you've been trolling all day.
Who, me?
You've been trolling all year, actually. But, listen, Lakers, this didn't happen. Lakers lost by 42 points because everybody thought they were getting traded in Indiana without Victor Oladipo.
LeBron's gonna trade you.
That was hilarious, though. But Brandon Ingram handled that well. He kind of laughed it off, and I heard it. And then they were chanting to JaVale McGee, "You're not worth it."
Yeah.
Or you're not worth anything.
Oh no! Yeah. I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, like you're not getting traded. Don't worry, because you're not.
Oh, that's.
I can't remember the exact phrase they used.
That's not as bad as Kelly Oubre at the line and John Wall hates you. That was.
Oh gosh.
That one was bad.
That's hilarious.
I felt horrible, and Kelly promptly missed both. He missed them both.
See, if someone's chanting at you, you have to. You got to make those shots, though.
That's tough.
You got to make those shots.
When he missed both, I was like, "Ooh, he might really hate him." That's not good.
You got to make those shots, man.
That's not good.
Definitely got to make the shots, but yeah. So I mean, Lakers. Listen, man. With all that said and done, they have to be professional now and play. They have to play basketball, which will be fine. I mean, they're in the NBA. They're not the only team that's ever been rumored to have trades. You know what I'm saying?
Not a whole team though.
The whole team was involved.
Not a starting lineup in your seventh.
Well, they already
man.
traded one. They traded two people, but
who got traded?
We traded Svi from Kansas.
Yep.
The rookie, we got him in the second round. We traded him for Reggie Bullock from Detroit, who was actually a starter for the Pistons.
Yeah.
A 3-and-D type guy, which I think that was a good trade. I like Speed's potential, but
definitely a positive trade for sure.
So they got better in that area. And we traded
Zubats, right?
Zubats and Michael Beasley, who had some beef with
Oh, I didn't see the Beasley got
yeah.
traded.
Yeah, that was the main thing. Like, get rid of Beasley, who's getting cut by the Clippers, by the way.
Well, talking about they got traded to the Clippers?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
For Mike Muscala.
You don't have to move.
Oh, yeah. You just like, I just
all right.
Switch locker rooms.
Switch locker rooms.
That's like the best trade.
That's
like,
the best
if
trade
I gotta
in
get
history.
traded, let me get traded down the hallway.
Now I will say though, they do live on two different parts of the city, because the
training facilities.
Yeah, the training facilities are in two different spots, and I did not realize. Did you ever read that the Darius Miles uninterrupted, the Players Tribune article where they were talking about Donald Sterling, the Clippers when Q and Corey Maggette and all those guys were there. Their practice facility was a junior college.
Wow. No, I knew it was bad. I mean,
I was like, what? He was like, oh yeah, like for me to even say this out loud now is like laughable, but like they literally like.
I mean, listen, Staples Center's opened up in 1999.
Yeah.
Before that, they were playing in the LA Sports Arena.
Yeah.
Which has been garbage since the 80s.
Wow.
I mean, and that's where the Clippers played. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they were always a joke. Because it's like you got the Lakers over here in the Great Western Forum in Inglewood.
Yeah.
And then you got the Clippers playing. Downtown LA was not it is now.
Yeah,
this was before Nokia Center and ESPN moved down there. It was
and brought the city
back.
Like
Skid Row's right over here, and this is the rest of downtown, which is a little bit better.
Yeah.
And the sports arena is right there. And
is that gone? That's been gone?
I'm not sure if it's totally gone. They might still do some like other stuff there.
Huh.
I don't think any like professional sports. It might have been torn down. But I know last time I was out there probably 9. Well, no, it hasn't been that long since.
I was about to say you were just
I mean to a Laker game. I remember driving by it and everything. But,
okay.
But it might be there, it might not be there. But the fact is, it was just garbage. So it's like you got this other professional team, playing in this little rinky-dink spot, and that's why they were always, like the
joke
of the NBA, the joke of LA, especially. But they're doing a lot better right now, and they just cleared a lot more cap space.
A lot.
They decided, listen, they're hanging out in that 8th spot. They decided that we don't want to get to the playoffs to get swept by Golden State. What's the point in doing that when we can trade our good players?
Yeah, lose maybe like 5 to 7 more games.
Yeah.
Than they probably were going to lose as presently constructed.
Yeah.
You go ahead and lose those 5, fall into 9. Fall to 10, and possibly look like the Wizards, and maybe
get a good draft pick.
Yeah.
You got people that want to come to LA. You have the potential of Kawhi Leonard, potential of Kevin Durant.
Have they traded any of their? Did they trade their first round pick? Like protected, unprotected?
Who's that?
The Clippers. That's Dave's role.
Clippers got.
I'm just saying.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure this year.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think so. I don't think so. But I know they got the Miami Heat 2001 first round pick.
2021.
2021. What did I say?
You said 2001.
Really old. Who they picking 01?
Michael Olowokandi.
No, that was
at 2000.
That was Clippers.
That's what I'm saying. The Clippers.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm saying who did Miami?
Oh, Miami. Oh, shoot.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
But so they got that pick, which a lot of people are. Miami could end up being good in 2021. We don't know that.
Sure.
But they could be bad.
They could
and
still
that could be like a great pick. So they got that, a second round pick. But these are also picks that, like, hey, like, summertime, we need stuff to stack up to try to trade for Anthony Davis now, too.
Yeah.
So now if we could bring in Kawhi Leonard and try to trade for Anthony Davis, now we got pieces to be able to do that, maybe.
Yeah.
With draft picks and stuff like that. But they did get rid of Tobias Harris, which was a borderline all-star. If he would have already been in the East, he probably would have been an all-star.
Yeah.
But being in the West, you know how stacked it is out there.
Just a good player.
You're a borderline all-star. If you're in the East, you're D'Angelo Russell making an all-star team.
Well, he made it on the back end.
He wouldn't have made it.
He had a good.
He wouldn't have made it in the West.
No,
there's 6 guards ahead of him in the West that didn't even make the all-star team in the West.
That's true.
That you got the McCollums and a lot of other.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
The guys that are those fringe, those just on the fringe guys that you're
Exactly.
like, he's averaging
Mike
24 a game.
Conley,
Yeah, well, Mike Conley, I don't know.
better than D'Angelo.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, D'Angelo's having a great year. Like, props to
yeah.
D'Angelo for doing that. I'm still a fan.
Still has ice in his veins.
Yeah,
Now
he's been balling though. I mean,
Coogi sweater.
Brooklyn themselves, man. I mean, 6 in the East right now.
Yeah.
And that's behind Philly, Boston, Toronto, Milwaukee, and Indiana, who are all playing great. Indiana's the only team that might fall off a little bit because of Oladipo being out, but they don't look like they are.
Who's the 3 seed right now?
Boston.
Oh, all right, yeah, they'll get cracked.
And that's 3.5 behind Toronto. So I think the standings, though, I think Milwaukee and Toronto might flip flop throughout the season, but I think it's pretty much set with those top 3 being like where they're at. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but crazy day of trades. Trying to think of the other trade. We also got to talk about Marc Gasol.
Yeah, Marc Gasol got traded to which I'm not super excited about that trade. Gasol's 34.
Yeah.
I believe this is the last year of his contract.
Yeah. Valanciunas was 26.
Yeah.
But
hadn't been getting a lot of minutes like you.
Yeah. I mean, he was down at, I think it was 18 minutes. So he wasn't being heavily utilized. So I think the Gasol trade really depends on what are they doing, because Gasol was only averaging maybe 6-7 points more than him, but was getting 15 more minutes.
A lot more minutes, yeah.
So
and does that mess up what you're doing with Siakam out there and Serge Ibaka, because they had chemistry?
Yeah.
Skill wise, yeah, Marc Gasol is better.
Yeah,
but they were playing well with the lineup they had, because even though he was only playing 18 minutes, like, he was balling when he was in there.
And Ibaka usually run like Marc Gasol doing his usual pick and pop. Usually he would be running that out of at the top of the key.
Yeah,
that's usually been Serge Ibaka's role on the team. That's been doing more of the pick and pops and the pick and fades. So yeah, that's it's I'm with you. It's definitely something that gives you pause, because it's like, hey, in the playoffs, because one thing I will say though is we don't know how much this actually reinvigorates Marc Gasol.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he knew he was on a bad team this year. He might have just packed it in and said, all right, trade me, and I'm just waiting to get traded. So how much has he had in reserves versus how much was he actually expending on the court? So still don't know that. Yeah. And on top of that, he hasn't really been the same, truthfully, since Zebo left. So we'll see. I am interested in that one. Thon Maker getting traded to the Pistons for Stanley Johnson.
Yeah.
But then you see Stanley Johnson got traded again.
There was a couple players that got traded multiple times.
Yeah, I felt horrible about that. I was like, oh, okay, because they were like, oh, okay, we'll give you our project for your project, and then they shipped the project right back out of town.
And I think it was Nick Stauskas also
got traded twice because he got traded to Houston.
Yeah,
and then he
got traded to
Houston
again last night, and they got traded to Indiana today.
Wait, don't get that condo. Don't get that condo.
Don't get that plane ticket.
Man, well,
just wait a little bit.
listen. One of Jerome's best stories, one of the reasons that Jerome actually became endeared to the Canadian fans so much, when he got traded, because he got traded at the trade deadline. Yeah. That's why, like, when you guys get all excited about the trade deadline, it's a tender spot for me, because we never wanted Jerome to get traded ever, but when he did get traded, he got traded into a better situation. But Jerome actually, because you actually usually have 48 hours to report to your next team.
Yeah.
Jerome, like I said, he had just arrived back in Detroit. I forget who they had played, but they were on the team bus going back to the Palace to pick up their cars and everything. And a reporter from Toronto calls Jerome. And he's like, hey, Jerome, how you feel about, being traded to the Raptors? No one had told Jerome, no one, management, nobody. He got told by a reporter. And so he didn't know how to answer. And I forget what his answer was. It was probably something to the effect of, well, talk to my agent and we'll figure it out. Because his agent didn't even tell him. And so Jerome, instead of taking the 48 hours, him and his wife, him and Nicolette, they drove to Toronto that night throughout the night in the middle of a blizzard.
Wow.
It was a blizzard, and so he got to Toronto at about 5 in the morning. Was there for shoot around the next morning, at 7 a.m. And like the Raptors didn't even know, like he was there because he had nowhere to go, so he was at the arena and
Yeah.
they didn't even know how to let him in, like all that. And so like that was actually one of the ways that the JYD myth started in Toronto, because he wanted to be there.
Yeah.
And he went right to work. He didn't take
Cool.
the 48 hours.
Yeah.
So that was one of his stories.
Wow. And
But,
he was happy. I mean, that was probably his best years in Toronto, right?
Yep. Toronto. I mean, the Pistons knew that they couldn't re-sign him.
Yeah.
And so when people talk about the business side of it, the stuff that they don't really talk about much is like, when these players say they want to get traded and they want to be in a better situation, a lot of times they do that because they know the current situation is just toxic. It's not going to
Yeah.
work. Like Jerome wasn't going to resign with the Pistons. They, at that point, Grant was still their guy. Jerome, not necessarily had been marginalized, but he hadn't been featured as much as he could have been. And so he was going to leave. He was going to bounce. And he ended up, honestly, in the perfect situation. He went to Toronto. The fans loved him. He was a key part in their first deep playoff run, and they gave him the contract of a lifetime.
Yeah.
He got what, 47 over 7 with a $10 million trade kicker,
Which would have been 110
Oh God,
these
yeah.
days.
Shoot,
For
Jerome,
7 years though, they don't even do
Jerome,
7-year contracts
man,
anymore.
Yeah.
Dude,
That
five
was-
is the max if you
Yeah.
sign with the team you're already with. 4 is the
Woo.
max if you sign with the outside team.
Yeah, it was 7 because he got traded. His bird rights got
Yeah.
traded. So because he was gonna leave, and he probably would have had to sign for, I think, 5
Yeah.
at that point. But since he got traded, it ended up being a blessing in disguise because they could go above the cap and re-sign him.
Yeah.
So they re-signed Vince to a $96 million deal that year. They re-signed Boogie Williams, and they re-signed Antonio Davis. So everybody got paid that summer.
Wow.
And then the wheels came off the bus.
Wow. Other trades that happened. There was a lot, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm blanking,
so
but
many.
there's a few.
So Markelle Fultz finally got traded.
That was the trade.
He's been stuck in Philly, not doing anything. This weird injury, this whole mental thing that's been going on the whole time he's been drafted. Philly won this trade as far as like finally getting rid of Fultz because they hadn't been using him. They got Simmons from
Orlando,
who was with who was a good player with San Antonio before he went to Orlando.
You feel that Philly won this trade.
Philly won this trade how it is right now.
Presently
Philly
constructed.
lost this trade because they traded somebody that they traded a pick and traded their third pick to get to number 1
Yeah.
and trading another first-round pick to Boston
Yeah.
to get Markelle Fultz,
That's what they lost.
which they could have.
Had
If they were
Jason
going to do
Tatum.
that, you could have drafted Jason Tatum.
Right where you
Which
were at.
Boston was letting people know that they wanted Tatum.
Yeah.
They didn't want Fultz. That's why they moved out of the first position because everybody was saying Fultz is the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, if he's the overall number 1 pick, everybody
Who
keeps
wants
saying
him?
that.
Yeah, who wants him?
Then who wants him? Let us trade down. We'll go ahead and sacrifice him. If we can just get another first-round pick, we'll give you the best, quote-unquote, best player in the draft.
Yeah.
If we can get, another pick, we'll just take another one of your picks sometime. And they get
Maybe.
Jason Tatum, who was probably him and, which we didn't know, Mitchell for the Jazz, the 2 best players in that draft so far.
Yeah. Who's number 2?
Number 2 was Lonzo.
Oh, that's right.
And then De'Aaron Fox, I think, was 4 or 5.
Yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. That's right.
So
That was a
either
solid draft.
of those,
That was a solid
Fox
draft.
or Tatum would have been better for Philly.
Because that's Dennis Smith Jr. too, right? That's,
Yeah, Dennis Smith
that's
Jr.
that draft. So
Yeah.
no, that's been a solid draft. That spawned some starters in the league.
Yeah, I mean Kyle
know.
Kuzma came in the late.
Yeah, in the 20s.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
late
like,
first round.
yeah. No, that was a
Yeah.
solid draft.
So for this trade today, Philly won just because they got somebody that they can use.
Yeah.
That will actually play.
No, okay.
Uh,
in terms of depth right now, yes, he is.
Yeah.
He is available to them.
Exactly.
But
But
yeah,
knowing that you gave up the first pick in last year's draft, 2017, for not a lot, you did get, I think they might have?
I'll tell you what they got.
Okay.
So first off, Philly got back a Ziploc bag of farts. That's what they got first. That's the first thing that they got. They got Oklahoma City's first round pick this year, and I forget whose second round pick next year or this year as well. And it's like, it's funny because
From Orlando.
Yes. Because I was just with Desiree, our resident Philadelphia fan, earlier today.
And we haven't heard from since.
Yeah, no, she asked how you were doing. And so I like the news hit my phone right as she was walking in. And so I was like, you heard about Fultz? And she was like, stop playing, nothing happened. That's not funny. And I
Did she
showed
want him on the team still?
yeah, and so I showed her my phone, and she was like, "No, this is crazy. We didn't get anything." And and what I said to her was, I found it really interesting that they were very, very patient with Embiid. They were extremely patient also with Simmons. They gave both of those. They gave Embiid 2 years off essentially. They gave Simmons a full year off. They didn't even give Fultz one. They like he was on and off, and then they just shut him down. And because like my thing is this, right now as presently constructed, Philly is a top 2, top 3 team in the league.
Yeah.
Oh, top 3 team in the East. If Fultz was able to come back and be half of what they thought he could be, that's still a very high level 6-man on the team. That still adds depth to your team. I just found it really interesting that they didn't wait that out a little bit more or get more for potentially what it was.
I don't think people are offering anymore.
Yeah.
People have seen what this guy is.
2 bad haircuts.
And I'm not sure if that's something that people were offering much for this guy because he killed his trade value. And with that, like Embiid and Ben Simmons did get more time because why? They were in tank mode. Like they were like the bottom of the league when they were giving them time.
Sure.
They
were still in
build
the process.
up and exactly. Right now, they're where the process led.
Yeah.
And let's face it, the process worked.
The fruits of the process.
And now they got a quote unquote big 4. A lot of you might not know the name Tobias Harris. I personally kind of like him better than Jimmy Butler. I'm not going to say he's better or as good as Jimmy Butler, but people are sleeping on him.
Well,
Tobias Harris was definitely the Clippers' best player.
And
I said before, he was a borderline all-star. He's been coveted for a long time.
And where are the Clippers right now? Like where are they?
Clippers are number 8.
Exactly, in the West.
So
you're taking someone's best player and you gave up nothing.
You didn't give up a lot.
You gave up nothing.
You didn't give up a lot for somebody that...
For someone's best player.
Now,
just say that again out loud. Like, we gave up nothing of comparable value.
Here's the thing, though. If
you
can't re-sign him, you actually did give up, like, some important draft picks. And
they did give up some... Well, they did give up some picks. But I mean, I think
it wasn't like they had to give up Jimmy Butler to get him and someone else.
Sure,
you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So now they potentially could re-sign Jimmy Butler this summer. They could potentially re-sign Tobias Harris this summer. Now you got 4 dudes that you can just go with.
Fantastic 4
in the Eastern Conference.
That's a fantastic 4. I can say, and 2 of them are still on rookie deals.
Yeah.
So,
so you could still pay other people. You can keep Redick again.
Yeah.
You can keep some of these guys and keep building around them. I like what Philly's been doing. Shout out to Elton Brand, man. He's been a dope GM this year. He did some stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting back. I mean, outside of, to your point, I don't think they could have gotten much for Fultz. I just wish they would have given him more time, because I feel like he needs more support than he needs change of scenery.
Yeah, but I'm not. I think he probably needs change of scenery more than anything.
He might need both, but I feel like he's the type of cat that needs support, because everybody's like, "Oh, you're trash. Oh, you're this," and you and I both know one of the biggest things that helps you more than anything else.
I don't think he wanted to be there though.
Yeah,
I really don't.
Well, shoot, after Jimmy Butler, I mean, why would you?
And being in Philly, like, you have to deal with Philly fans. I think Orlando's a place.
But see, Philly fans liked him. I don't ever felt like Philly fans turned on him. At least not from Desiree's perspective.
I don't think it was like huge publicly, but
Desiree loved him. And she had no reason
Yeah,
to.
I'm not sure the media out there and
Yeah.
different things like that. I don't think he wanted to be there anymore. I don't think Philly trusted him
To
ever
be there
being
anymore.
what
Yeah.
he was going to be, because this injury was like, they're calling it an injury, but it was like a brand new
Like a
injury that nobody had ever
psychoactive.
heard.
Yeah, psychoactive injury.
And it was just really weird. So
yeah.
what do you do with that? What do you really do with that? And I think and Jonathan's Simmons is good, dude. And that's the thing, like, these cats in Orlando, they got good players.
They just don't
You just
win.
you fade off when you go to Orlando.
Yeah.
Like Shaq and Penny are not walking through that door.
That's where
Tracy
careers go to
McGrady
die.
is not walking through that door.
Yeah.
And Tracy McGrady played for bad teams in Orlando. He was just dominating like James Harden's doing.
Yeah.
So you heard his name all the time. But they weren't a very good team. I think they made the playoffs twice with T-Mac there.
Yeah.
And lost in the first round every time.
Yeah.
But he was one of those guys that San Antonio didn't want to let go, but he just signed an offer sheet that they're like, well, we just can't. 2 years ago, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a baller. I think he's going to help them a lot. So I think it was a good move for them. I really do.
Raptors traded Greg Monroe to the Nets for some picks.
Greg Monroe's been traded like 4 times in the past year.
It's wait a minute. Let's see. With the Wizards trades of Markieff Morris and
Wizards are what?
and Otto Porter, the Wizards are more awful.
More awful.
Awfuler, according to Tony Kornheiser.
Wow.
More awful. That's too funny. Oh my goodness.
Other trades, Bucks added Mirotic.
Yeah.
I like that guy.
From
I've
New
always
Orleans.
liked that guy.
I mean, even
Bucks
though
Bucks are just getting better.
yeah,
Bucks are getting better.
and you feel so okay. We talked about this off air.
And all they gave up was Sarah's boyfriend and Stanley Johnson. Jason Smith.
Oh, they gave up Jason Smith.
Yeah.
Smith's had a rough ride.
Well,
I mean,
you go from Washington, which was
he was
just
secure,
a rough team.
He was
he liked
secure
it there. He
Yeah.
had his role. He knew what he had to do.
His role was to sit on the bench and for Sarah to like
He
him.
knew his.
She's about the
We
only
should
person.
call her up.
She's the only person in DC that has a Jason Smith jersey.
Wow.
I can assure you of that. Him and his mom. His mom, and Sarah. Those are the 3 jerseys that were sold.
And his wife.
Is he married?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Definitely. I have to let somebody know that sometimes, but
Hey.
no, but then you get traded to Milwaukee. So you're like, okay, I was comfortable here, but I'm going to like the best team in the East.
Yeah.
So I'll take that.
Sure.
And then your phone rings. You're like, guess what?
The bottom falls
You're going
out.
back to the bottom again. You're going to the Pelicans, which are the second worst team in the West.
At least you go to a fun city.
True. Party city. You can hang out. And
there is that side of it.
Yeah.
We get good food and some good vibes. That's the thing that always trips me out when people say bad things about New Orleans. I'm like, that's one of the better cities to go to. They have good weather. They've got good vibes down there. The women are pretty.
Yeah.
That's not a bad spot to go to.
We're going to call Jason Smith's biggest fan right now.
Okay. All right.
And we're going to get her take
on the Jason Smith movement.
Now, I hope she knows we're calling from the radio so she doesn't cuss on air.
Oh.
But she might not even answer.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh.
Hi, you're live on air, so
Oh my God.
keep the
color commentary to a minimum.
Yeah.
Wow.
But your boy Jason Smith got trading again. How do you feel about that?
Yet again. I mean, you guys can't do this and then like just bring it on me. Oh, hey, by the way, you're on air and you're not allowed to use any 4-letter words.
No 4-letter words.
Then I would like to speak with my lawyer.
I would like to phone a friend.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
do not
God.
have the capacity right now.
Oh no, that's too funny.
What about Washington trading everybody and John Wall being out for the next year and a half?
I mean, whatever. Just throw the whole team away. Can we redshirt a season? Are we allowed to do that in the
No,
NBA?
Sarah, all we have to do is, it's...
Is what? What is the end of that sentence?
We cheer for the Caps. It's good times. It's all right.
She doesn't like hockey.
Oh, she loves hockey. It's okay. We just move on, Sarah. It's a look. You put your Capitals jersey back on, and we just turn the page. That's
they
what I'm
finally
doing.
won a game, so that makes me happy.
There you go.
Finally decided to like, oh hey guys, remember we're really good at hockey. So let's do that again.
No,
listen, I feel like Sarah's been to more Wizards games than season ticket holders this year.
Yeah,
the tickets are really cheap. So
They are. They are really, really cheap. Yeah.
It's not a bad idea, and they're going to be even cheaper now. So.
Oh yeah. If you can't get a 2 for 1, then you're doing it wrong.
Man, look, the thing of it is, like, if one more person tries to justify Thomas Bryant's presence on this team, I will flip.
I like Thomas
Wow,
Bryant.
you don't like Thomas Bryant?
Nope.
I like Thomas Bryant.
But my thing, okay, my issue is that I'm not saying the kid won't be good, but stop trying to act like he's a great white hype. All right, like he's not.
He's not white.
Thank you.
Keep it together. Keep it together. No 4-letter words.
I'm trying really, really hard.
Keep it together.
I'm trying really, really hard right now, guys.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not so much a spiritual human, but man, someone needs to pray for me right now. That would be great. He's not that good. I had a discussion with someone earlier. They're like, because me and Julian are like, dude, he's not a starter. He's a starter, blah, blah, blah. He's so good. This is him. Like, okay, fine. Name teams that he would start on. And then they're like, oh, the Knicks. I'm like, that doesn't count.
No.
Oh, the Lakers. You can't start on a team that literally lets you go. By definition, you cannot start on a team that says we don't want you. Exactly.
Oh, Tamo.
I'm
Was
like,
he on the Lakers?
Yeah, he got drafted by the Lakers.
Yeah.
Thomas Bryant did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
Yes.
that. How did we get him?
We traded him for like a second-round pick or something like that.
To us?
For money. Somebody give
Or
give us $100,000. Give us $100,000. We'll give Thomas Bryant
for new Laker girl dance uniforms.
Give us $100,000.
Adam Levine's nipples.
Oh my goodness, no.
Adam Levine's nipples.
No, it's wait, what was that in semi-pros? Like we traded you for the washing machine.
Man.
Oh my God, how bad do you have to suck to get traded for a washing machine? That's
yeah, you got to be pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's tough time.
That's what I'm saying. Like, oh, look at his numbers. Like, I don't think you guys understand. He is a starter on one of the worst teams in the league, and that's it.
Yeah.
He's not a great player, but he's definitely good.
He's solid.
He hustles. That's what I like about him.
And Sarah, that's kind of the one thing I think that I've respected about him. He plays hard. So what I think what people
does Jason Smith.
No, he did not.
I'm
But
just saying.
so look, I'll put it to you like this. And I know that you can I know that you can concur with this. When you watch him play, he looks like he's giving it his all. Now his all might not be nearly as efficient or as good as any of our other bigger players, but you know he's going to give every ounce of himself. We've had players on our team that hasn't always been the case. So I think that what you're seeing is that people appreciate that because it's like, oh my God, he's giving everything he has, whereas most of our players are giving 75. That's the
fine,
difference.
and I get that. But what irritates me is that we're just out here rewarding effort. We're going to be that team.
Hey,
he gave it his best. Yes. No.
Look. I'll put it to you like this. Wait, I already know what you're gonna say. If I take 5 more Thomas Bryant's, you're gonna be like, you're still gonna win 35 games.
Like I'm just saying, like I can give forth my effort. Does that mean I get to play in the league? I could probably bounce out better than he can. I can tell you this: if I tried hard enough, I could probably slap the ball out of his hand.
Listen, the team
I'm trying really hard not to say things that I really want to say.
Listen, you got a big 2 right now of Bradley Beal and Trevor Ariza.
Oh my God!
Only 4 games out of the 8th spot in the East.
No, I want us to stay there.
No, you got to you got to go lower.
The sad part is, I never thought I'd say this, but bring on Zion. As someone who knows me, I hate Duke more than almost as much as I hate the Cowboys. So anyone and everyone that ever is from, don't do that.
No, I had to explain because the JJ Redick hate over here is legit. That's still.
I mean, we hate Duke out here because of 91.
Austin Rivers, I don't care. Austin Rivers can put out the best play on the face of the planet, and all I'm going to do while he's wearing a Washington Wizards jersey is give him a golf clap. He went to Duke. I don't care.
That hate is still there, even though you
man.
change conferences.
Ugh. It won't ever go away. I don't hate anyone in the Big Ten. I like everyone in the Big Ten.
Okay, all right. You don't have any hate for the Big Ten yet.
No.
All right.
Yet.
Not yet.
It's like I feel like it's not even real. You know, like I'm still an ACC girl.
Yeah. I feel the same way about Georgetown with Syracuse leaving. It's just certain things just don't feel right.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys feel bad for Bradley Beal, who's kind of stuck there now with nothing else going on? And do you think he might demand a trade this summer?
I think
or ask for one. Maybe not demand one, but ask for one.
You want Brad to get traded?
Man, he deserves better than us.
No.
I'm a real friend. I want him to do better.
Listen.
I want him to prosper.
Especially if you get some young pieces like Alonzo Ball.
Oh God.
And a Brandon Ingram.
Oh God. Well, Brandon I can consider. But Lonzo,
you get LeVar too.
No. Don't you be trying to trade that demonic entity to my team.
Lonzo Ball is better than LeBron James. That's what I heard this morning.
We were going to talk about that.
That's what I heard this morning.
Don't worry.
I can't.
Oh my gracious. He had been so quiet for so long. We were really talking about how much he had grown. We were proud of him.
Man,
and
don't
then
do that.
Don't
do that.
He goes right back and says some poppycock like that.
And you know what? He's screwing himself up because he thought Lonzo was gone.
What incarnation?
Yeah,
he thought Lonzo was gone. That's the only reason he was going off like this.
Yeah.
Now he's probably like, oh damn,
I said too much again.
Yeah.
So stupid.
As he's selling his Triple B water.
Oh my! Well, no, not even Triple B water. But how about the shoes that people ordered back in October? Yeah, they're still not out for delivery yet.
But we'll send you a bottle of water from Lithuania, imported from Lithuania,
from the Lithuanian Springs. We're sending them. We're sending about 3,000 cases to Flint, Michigan. We're good people.
Wow.
You know.
Did you say to Michigan?
I said Flint, Michigan.
Oh God.
All right, so who comes back first in Washington sports? John Wall or Alex Smith?
No one. Blow it all up. Just blow it all up.
No, the Capitals are fine. The Capitals are fine.
You can't just hang on to one sport.
Look,
sure you can.
I lost.
When they're champions, you can. They bring me joy because the Capitals for years were like that pretty ex-girlfriend that you just knew she was gonna lead you on.
Oh wow!
And then she was gonna pull the rug right before things were about to happen.
That's how we always do it. That is the essence of GC sports.
That changed last year.
You won hockey.
That's right. All that changed.
It's a giant tease.
No.
That's all it is.
That's all right. We had consummation in hockey.
The only reason why I'm so hypersensitive, this guy. I'm so hypersensitive because I gave up the Redskins this season.
Gave him up for who?
I can't believe you said the word.
Yeah, what happened? Wait.
I did.
Well, gave him up for who?
What do you mean what happened? What do you mean what happened? For no one. I didn't watch anything. The Super Bowl was the most football I've watched all season.
Oh wow, yeah. That was me the first year that they shut down RG3 and brought in Kirk. Remember, I went on strike. Man. I went on strike for a full year. I was not happy.
Look, you're okay. Without opening this can of worms.
How do you feel about concussions?
Oh my God, I gotta go, guys. I can't do this anymore. You can't. I can't.
We love you, Sarah.
This is. Oh my God, I love you guys
All
too.
right, check out Sarah on the Beautiful Trainwreck podcast weekly.
Yeah.
And they just had episode 40, right? Episode 40 dropped, or it's about to drop.
Okay. It is out there.
I think I'm still on 33.
I appreciate you listening.
I don't know why I don't get alerts, so I'll have to get back on that.
They're there, you know.
All right.
I get them first of all, I get a call and then I get like.
Oh, see, you get calls.
The alert.
I don't even get any love anymore. Sarah doesn't love me. It's
what?
All right.
Okay, let's both of you again. Don't pull at that thread right now, because Mark Smith, you're on my list too, friend.
I tried to call you back last night.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like I left like a Marco Polo message long ago that never was responded to.
No. That's false. That's also false.
I don't know. Might have to check my phone.
Yeah. Scroll back through the records. See what it says.
All right,
I've made it this long without dropping any type type of F-bomb.
There
I
you
am
go.
a new person.
You did good.
You can do it.
Good.
You can do it. It's baby steps.
It hurts so bad.
I want to challenge you and Julian to do a whole show without cussing.
No.
Try it.
Why?
Try it. It's a good.
I'm not.
It's a good challenge.
It's all right.
Why is that a good challenge?
Personal growth.
It's a
Why
good challenge.
Why are you trying to change me? How's that personal growth?
Personal growth.
How's that personal growth?
Look, I'm still in talk. I'm in negotiations with Jesus. I'm still trying to get you in. I'm still trying my best to get you in.
Look, hold on. Me and God have a fantastic relationship. He knows exactly who I am. Okay, he made me. He knows what's up.
Oh my goodness. Goodbye, woman. You be good, all right?
You too. I miss you, Joshua.
I miss you too. I'll talk to you soon.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. Bye, Miss Sarah.
Bye.
Ditto.
Ditto. He controls the button. I can only say bye. The conversation can continue after that. That's too funny.
Man. So that's how you that's how you get someone's real feelings. It's a Washington fan. You just call them on the spot.
Yeah. It's
Sarah's very passionate about her teams.
It's very, very hard to be a DC fan, but it's a lot easier once you leave, because I'm telling you, that only magnifies by the fan.
Yeah.
And I've told you on this show many a time, I'm probably one of the few DC fans that can have some outsider perspective.
Yeah. Because
I've been gone for so long. But man, like my boy Joe, God rest his soul, when he was there, like he would just call me saying that just the most asinine things that I'm like, dude, pull it together. Like it's not that bad. But yeah, I mean, when you talk about the Caps, I hold on to the Caps because I'd much rather them suck right now and then turn it back on for the playoffs.
Yeah.
You do not want your team to be rolling into the playoffs. You want them to have their lull earlier. Hockey's just weird. It's one of the, I mean, like basketball, you can turn it down, turn it back on, and the NBA is still going to help you. Hockey, they ain't going to help you. The games are too close. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If your goalie's a little off or your team isn't working as hard, it's just a matter of time before you get bounced. So, yep.
All right. Well, we got the man, the myth, the legend, calling all the way from the Las Vegas Strip in Las Vegas, Nevada. Death Star, what's up?
Oh man, are you? Is everybody just as sad as I am about your boy Otto Porter leaving the Wizards?
As sad? No. I look, 36 million.
That was
36
a
million.
Joke.
Oh,
that was a joke.
Well,
you should be ecstatic.
Yeah.
Well, at first you weren't, and I think we talked about that earlier in the show. Like you were like, you didn't think you got anything for him.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't.
Getting rid of him was getting something.
Yeah, it wasn't so much that I wasn't ecstatic or upset. It was because I was never really upset. It was more or less like because like I said before, when we had him and Kelly, I feel like we had some trade pieces that you could start to make a compelling argument. Like, oh, okay, we'll give you Kelly, we'll give you him, and and this could do something for your team. So to trade both of them off kind of in separate deals, I feel like it might have been a little bit of a missed opportunity to maybe bring somebody back. But Otto had damaged his value so much this year that it was like, yeah, that's kind of the best you could do.
Yeah.
And so to get back 2 expiring contracts, where you basically hold the cards, and pick up 36 million in cap space, I'm not upset with that. I'm not upset with that at all, because you actually can go get another max guy if you want to now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they're not going to be able to, but I mean, you could.
Theoretically. Why wouldn't we be able to?
Who was the last free agent that signed there?
That's neither here nor there.
Dwight Howard?
Yeah, Dwight. I mean, no, but I mean, but
how did that go?
Well, no, Dave. But see what what you're not thinking about on that is when you give away $60 million to Jan Mahinmi and kill your last little bit of money when you don't get Kevin Durant. Those are the kind of short-sighted moves that force you into boxes where you can't go after somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That.
Oh no, I get it. I get the concept. I mean, believe me, it was the right move, and I get all that. The only difference is I see a lot of teams clearing cap space. I think some of these teams will be successful with it. Some of it's just to get underneath the luxury tax, which I understand that aspect too.
Yeah.
I mean, why pay a luxury tax for a team that's not that good?
That's right.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
That's not a luxury. That's not a luxury I want.
Exactly. Well, and now you have the John Wall bill coming due for a guy that's not back for at least a year and not really back for we don't know how long.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a lot going on just with that one franchise. But I mean, this has been one of the more subtly exciting trade deadlines. Just seeing the different direction teams are trying to go.
Yeah.
The fact that teams can't just tank uncontrolled. I mean, even though teams are tanking, the fact that your top 5 picks, I mean, the top 5 worst teams have similar value, and 1 through 3 have the exact same chance.
Yeah.
I mean, that's reforming tanking somewhat, but I'm still not enough. I mean, it's still too incentivized to be bad if you can't be good.
Yeah.
And there's very few franchises that are willing to, like Indiana will always fight to be in the playoffs, no matter what.
Yeah.
And I saw that they're the front runners to get in Wesley Matthews. I'm not sure how much he has. I mean, he never really came back from his Achilles injury, but at the same time, I don't understand why he wouldn't go to some of the other teams that were looking at him, like Oklahoma City or Houston or Golden State. There's just some interesting things out there. Not that Golden State's not going to get buyout guys.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, and to your point, Utah's another team similar to that. You know, they always are fighting for, you know, if they're not in the playoffs, they're the 9th seed, the 10th seed, but they never go full on rebuild. Because
if you really can't afford it. I mean, you could be an even worse market like New Orleans, who shouldn't even have a team. That I mean, once Anthony Davis is gone this summer, you better hope you get a star out of it.
Why shouldn't the New Orleans fans have a team? They already lost the Jazz.
Yeah, but they didn't show then. They still don't show now. They have Anthony Davis, one of the brightest stars in basketball, and they don't show up.
They sell out.
They don't come to games.
They sell out.
No, they don't. I'm not even sure they sold out playoff games. They do not sell out.
No, they don't.
I will check the stats on that. Give me a second.
You check the stats, please do. They do not sell out.
Dave, what's one of your favorite trades that has happened, and what's one you just don't understand?
Oh man, there's a lot I didn't understand, but I would say my ties for favorite trades, just for what they bring to the teams. One of whom I've always been a big fan of was Marc Gasol going to Toronto and Mirotic for the fit going to Milwaukee. He's such a perfect fit there. It's that top 4 of the East. Man, that's going to be a fun playoff. Good. I mean, the first round's going to be terrible. Those 4 teams are going to blitz whoever they play. But man, those 4 teams, it's like, gosh, those are some tough squads. I still think.
What do you think Indiana's gonna stay? I mean, well, Indiana's in 4 right now. Philly's in 5.
They can't stay in 4.
So yeah, they're gonna flip flop.
And here's the thing: even if it stayed that way, you can't tell me that they're going to beat that team in a playoff series. I just don't.
Yeah, no, and Philly's going to pick up. They're only 1 game behind them, so Philly's going to pick that up.
Yeah, I mean that Philly one could be a sneaky great decision, or because man,
it's great if they can resign them.
Yes, but and the question, I think maybe the question this opens is, do they really want to re-sign Jimmy Butler? I mean, they kind of have to because of what they gave up, but they gave up more for Harris.
They're saying they want to re-sign all him and Tobias.
And well, I think they should be that way because what's been proven, and I think historically you can see this as well, is for being such a big city and a big market, Philadelphia is not a free agent destination.
Yeah.
They're lucky if they get a meeting with somebody, but even with those young assets and all the money in the world to spend, who goes there? Who's the last free agent they got?
All right, Dave, I'm back. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's see. This game was in December versus the Houston Rockets. They were at 105%. They were in standing room only. So they do sell out.
Was this December? Was this December of last year?
No, obviously 2018.
No, I thought it might be. I thought it might have been 2017 when Boogie got hurt.
No. This was this season. They now I don't know what their numbers look like now that Anthony's been out and now that things look south. But
even that, you just named one sellout.
Well, no, I mean, but most of their games they were like.
But that's
15.
New Orleans is close to Houston too, so you might get those people that.
Sure.
It could have been
30%,
40% Houston fans in there.
Yeah, but they were.
Well, you're.
Oh, go ahead.
And that's
Dave.
what happens. You're getting people to see like James Harden's in town.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Especially the way he's been playing. You go see that show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, you don't know if that's the day that James Harden puts up 50.
Yeah.
It could very easily happen. But I mean, I'm sure if you check when they're playing, like, here's the one thing you could say for Oklahoma City. It's the smallest market by far. They sell out every game, whether it's Golden State or Charlotte or Milwaukee or whoever. It doesn't matter who it is. They sell the place out.
Yeah.
Well, and we saw that when New Orleans actually was playing in OKC for a year and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That is true. The Knicks waived Wesley Matthews.
Yeah, Matthews is going to sign to the Pacers. Yeah.
I'm not sure why they're keeping a hold of DeAndre Jordan. There's some of these.
They might not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they are because they still have time to. You still have time to buy these guys out, so they might be in buyout negotiations with him because they cut Canner too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Canner's gone. Robin Lopez is probably getting bought out.
One of those Lopez boys.
Yeah, it's a race between him and Gortat on who's going to end up in Golden State. So,
good Lord, Golden State, do not pick up Gortat.
Well, I know they would much prefer Robin Lopez, but I mean, Chicago has drugged their feet forever on that, and now that Boogie's back healthy, it doesn't matter whichever one of it is.
You're getting a 10-minute a game guy.
10-minute burst.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you're seeing now, I mean, they're really watching Boogie's minutes. I think that goes away in the playoffs. Like Boogie is roasting people and having to sit for good portions of the game.
Yeah. He still doesn't look good to me. Not good in terms of how he's playing, but
he's
just
about 80%.
He's definitely I was talking to some of the guys about this before. He's probably about a good 30 pounds overweight right now. So he's still got to get that off.
Wow.
Well, that's just getting into basketball shape, which he's getting to do. But I mean, if you see him being out of, and that's what's leading to a lot of the fouls because he's reaching a lot, he's slapping a lot.
I'm tired.
Yeah, but I mean, you see him. He is when he's down in that low block. I mean, it's just this whole other dimension that they have. He can't be stopped.
Well, and that they haven't had that since really the inception of these Warriors. They've never had that dominant big. Andrew Bogut, for all of his warts, was more of a rim running guy. He was more or less pacing space but he wasn't ever demanding the ball in the block and going to work and giving you a bucket. Like get you a bucket.
You should call Andrew Bogut a rim walking guy.
Wow. No. Well, he was getting those oops on those backdoor flares like all the time. And then when they had JaVale, that's when that like went crazy. It was like, oh man, that's really athletic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But,
and the thing with Bogut was always a crafty player. Bogut had all the old man tricks, and Bogut had great hands.
Yeah.
Great hands.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's an interesting league. I think this off season is going to be insane. I can't wait to see how the draft order falls because that's going to impact the Anthony Davis sweepstakes because New York actually becomes a player if they pull number one.
Yeah.
If they pull number one, then you have to start looking at Zion being possibly the best asset you could get for him. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So, and a lot of it's really going to come down to how much tampering and how much these players are pre-planning things. And realistically, for like the whole Boston thing, you're not. I heard this said this morning, and it was the most accurate thing I heard. You're not trading Jason Tatum for Anthony Davis. You're trading Jason Tatum to keep Kyrie Irving and to have Anthony Davis. So you have to look at it. So where Tatum at that point, if you can keep Kyrie, then you can keep Davis. Then it becomes a no-brainer. But if Kyrie's going to leave, you're not going to bring in Davis anyway. It doesn't make sense.
And here's the hard part about free agency. So now you got to try to trade for Davis and see if Kyrie's going to stay, because Kyrie doesn't have to make up his mind right away.
Yeah.
He can shop around and he can, see what's out there.
He can sweat you out.
So obviously that has to happen first before they even make a move for Davis. But is New Orleans going to keep waiting? Because they waited for Boston, obviously. They waited for Boston right now because they would have traded him at the trade deadline if they weren't waiting for Boston. And maybe even the Clippers, because I think Clippers have potential to try to jump into this trade.
They're loading up on draft picks.
Yeah.
Loading up.
Which I think Pelicans want draft picks more than players right now.
Yeah. They should, because they want as many swings as they can get, because they're not going to ever get a free agent.
Yeah.
They're never getting a free agent.
It's smart for a team like that to do that.
You have to. I mean, that's it, unless you're one of the very few glamour franchises, or your team just turns out to be a juggernaut where somebody would want to come play with some transcendent star, like Anthony Davis putting Milwaukee on there.
Yeah. He
put Milwaukee on there because, I mean, obviously he sees the signs of, could you imagine playing with Giannis? Geez.
It wouldn't be fair. And Golden State would definitely have to worry about their dynasty being done.
Well, because the way they're coached right now and how they can spread the floor, Anthony Davis could be part of spreading the floor for Giannis. If Giannis ever gets a hint of a jumper, just a hint of one, I don't know what you do with him, because I don't know what you do with him right now. Look what he did last night.
Yeah.
Look what they did as a team that first quarter, 50 points.
The Warriors scored 40. Bring that up.
Did you watch that game, Josh?
No, I was in transit.
Oh, it was really good.
No,
really good game.
But
I
the
saw
Warriors
you all
scored 49. The Warriors scored 49 points in a quarter last night. It wasn't the most that somebody scored in a quarter in that same night.
It's wild.
Milwaukee with Mirotic, that's an interesting team, because they're not star-laden, but the system around the player, that's a scary setup.
Dave, so what Quan and I were talking about before the show earlier today, though, because Quan was like, Milwaukee's number one in the whole league, actually, and for most of the season. And my question with Milwaukee is, though, who are you going to in the last 2 to 3 minutes of the game, like consistently?
That's your problem.
Consistently, and I think that's their issue.
Your problem for them is the playoff, where I think that they're going to struggle, because they don't have what Boston has, what Philadelphia, I believe, has an Embiid. As long as he's the one to get the ball.
Some
but Butler,
but
Butler
somebody
can be
that
an
wants
impediment there too. Yeah. But also, Toronto has with Kawhi. In these other cities, you have the guys who can go down the stretch
and get
buckets.
Yeah.
And I know that Giannis can get buckets, but what happens if they just? I mean, you're in the playoffs and they just close down the paint.
Then you got to kick out to Brook Lopez and hope he shoots like this in the playoffs.
Well, you have to kick out to Brook Lopez. You have to kick out to Mirotic. You have to kick out to Middleton. You have to kick out to all these guys. But
they can't create their own shot.
Point,
yeah, that's right.
I don't think Brett Brown's a good coach, but I think Stevens is a good coach. I think Nick Nurse has proven to be a good coach in Toronto. They're going to force Giannis into, at least they're going to let him get his, but they're going to force him at the end of the game to get the ball out of his hands.
Yeah.
And either get the ball out of his hands or shoot. And right now, that's their Achilles heel. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying I think those playoff matchups are interesting. I think who plays who makes a huge difference, because some of the teams stack up better against each other than others. But I think the Warriors, I don't see a team in the West that's going to. I mean, the closest team to them record-wise is Denver. Denver can't beat them in a playoff series. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I was telling Josh, I think the only
real
like
threat.
teams that could beat them are in the East, which is crazy to say.
But,
But,
and
I think
honestly,
they could lose in the finals. I think that's their biggest hope of anybody beating them is in the NBA finals.
Yeah.
And I don't see none of those teams, even with all that, I can't see them beating the Warriors, especially as they're composed with no injuries. The only team in the West that I don't think is afraid of them is Oklahoma City, but they don't have enough shooting to beat them. I think they could take a game or two off them, maybe.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think you're setting a lot of this up for your best possible chance to lose to Golden State. But then you hopefully are set up for maybe if, Durant's gone next year, then things are different.
And I want Durant to leave because I think it will even out the NBA. I really do. If he went to New York, if he went to the Clippers, and brought somebody else to the Clippers, I think it evens out the NBA. And listen, the Warriors are great, and it's been great for the NBA. But I think having 5 legit teams that could win the championship
is more exciting. It's more compelling.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I really do. And the fact that you can get Giannis in the finals, or you can have a great Eastern Conference battle. There's 4 teams
that potentially all could to stake claim to it.
I'm more interested seeing those 4 teams in the East battle than anybody in the West battle.
And that's been backwards in the last, I'd say, 8 years, really.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah,
at least.
The Eastern Conference semifinals are the main event for the playoffs this year.
Yeah,
because you're going to get 2 top, barring some crazy upset or injuries, you're getting 2 dynamic matchups where all 4 teams are legitimately a finals contender, and all 4 teams present issues for Golden State. I think the team that probably presents the least issues for Golden State, strangely enough, because they might be the best of the 4, is, you could say either Toronto or Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Just because Milwaukee, they'll know that they're too smart to not stay on the shooters. Giannis is going to get his.
Yeah.
But they have defenders to throw at him to make it hard.
Yeah. Or at least make him work. The biggest thing is make him work. If he's got to go get 40, we're going to make you earn all 40. So, and if you're getting your 40 and you're taking 25 shots, you've taken away a lot of opportunities from other people.
That's true. But like I said, they're well coached, though. And that's the other thing. With the exception of Brett Brown, I see a lot of good coaching. I don't see good coaching from Brett Brown. I don't think he's a good coach.
I like Brett Brown.
He hates Brett Brown so much. He's like, with the exception of Brett Brown.
I don't think he's a great coach like the other one. Like you said, I don't think he's at their level. But I like him because I think he kind of lets them play.
Leave the Aussie alone.
And I like that in a coach where you know what you have and you let them play.
Yeah.
Okay, but at a certain point, letting them play is fine. But like I said, when you look at that team, a team with Embiid, Butler, who I don't know how I feel about him these days anymore, and Simmons shouldn't be a 5 seed behind an Indiana team that missed, even before he got hurt for the season, they missed Oladipo for several games before that.
Yeah, but that's not Philly's fault because Indiana kept winning. It's not like Indiana was losing and Philly was losing too. Indiana kept winning once he went out and when Oladipo was out earlier.
You should be able to separate yourself from a team of that caliber.
Yeah.
And
they definitely should be higher. They were, they went on a 15-game winning streak to end last season. So they were definitely expected, especially getting Jimmy Butler, to do more than they've done. They were supposed to be the number 1 or 2 seed in the East.
They're only 1 game back from 3rd place. Philly is.
Yeah.
And they're only let's see. They're 3 games back. 3.5 games back from 2nd place.
Yeah, and when Lakers beat Boston tonight, the Philly will jump over Boston.
So the Lakers, I would be worried a little bit about the Lakers this season because I think that you have a lot of fragile young egos, and LeBron has trampled over every one of them.
I don't know. LeBron says he didn't push for any trades.
Well, look. My thing is this.
I want to mention this because they interviewed him this morning and he said that, and if I'm LeBron, why didn't you say that a week ago?
Thank you, LeBron.
Why'd you wait till till Rich Paul told you like, hey, we're not getting AD for you to finally say that?
Probably do some damage control. Oh my goodness.
and that's but
even live though, he could have been saying that the whole time. Like, yo, I'm not pushing for this trade. I'm good with the guys I have. If we do make a deal, then I'm good with whatever we do.
Yeah.
But he could have kept encouraging the guys, knowing that maybe this deal doesn't happen. He could have, like you said, done that damage control before they got their feelings hurt and quit sitting by him.
Yeah, I mean,
like they don't even sit by him in the bus anymore.
He has been eternally one of the most passive-aggressive people in the history of sports. When he wrote that letter about coming back to Cleveland, he left out players that he knew that he was going to get dealt.
Yeah.
It just the little stuff that he's done. it's always something. All this stuff with Rich Paul. I think Rich Paul played this. I think personally, it was an absolute disaster how he handled this. Now, maybe New Orleans wouldn't have dealt anybody anyway.
Yeah.
But the way he went about it was completely idiotic. And everything that they've done about it, and now it's allowed that dummy LeVar Ball to be able to get on a microphone again.
Resurface.
And that's another thing. And when you look at the Lakers also, it's like, at what point do you just say that Lonzo isn't worth this headache?
I think they looked at a lot of trades for Lonzo.
Look, my thing.
But I think they also might have kept him because we might need to throw him in that Anthony Davis deal if it does come back up this summer. So I think that's one thing. I think the best thing they need to do, Magic needs to talk to all the players. They need to definitely talk to them and meet with them and teach them, because like I was telling Josh earlier, they're not the only team that everybody was
didn't get moved, where pieces didn't get moved, where people had been speculating.
People have been talking about getting
weeks,
traded,
and then you didn't get traded.
It's just L.A. It's Anthony Davis, so it was definitely blown bigger than it had to be. And I think the worst thing also that the Lakers could do is firing Luke Walton. They need to just keep him for the rest of the season, keep that stability. They already got rid of Michael Beasley, who was trying to fight him last week in the locker room.
But that was another point that I wanted to bring up, was look at some of the knuckleheads that they have. I mean, you're supposed to be getting veteran leadership from Rajon Rondo.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Lance Stevenson, Michael Beasley.
Mm-hmm.
Stevenson's been good, though, this year.
And LeBron is a leader by how he plays. But behind the scenes, LeBron is too calculating to be a good leader.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say what you will for other guys, but like when you look at like James Harden in Houston, James Harden has the ball all the time, but those guys seem to love him. All these other players,
but nobody there's on a skill level though that requires them to want
to really fight.
They don't have a Brandon Ingram who, like, I want to be a potential all-star one day. They have PJ Tucker.
Yeah, like I'm cool but where I'm at. I'm buying shoes and I have a good contract.
I'll give you a better example, Russell Westbrook.
Well,
say what you will about Russ. His teammates love him.
Oh, he's balling.
His teammates
they do now.
His teammates now. That wasn't always the case.
Who's the teammate that didn't love him?
Well,
Durant?
but I mean, besides Durant, do we know that James loved him?
That whole Oladipo thing. Thank you.
Not a word of beef ever came out about, and I've been watching them all the time between him and Harden. Not one little bit, because they played the game different ways.
Well, what about Victor Oladipo? Because the second he left, he turned back into a different player.
Okay, well, first off, and if you listen to any interviews from Victor Oladipo last season when he was breaking out, he said the reason he broke out was because of Russ.
Yeah. Well, look. I mean, look. My thing before we get off of the Lakers too far, my biggest concern with all of this is that LeBron's initial purpose in going to the Lakers was to teach these young players how to win.
No.
That's how it was positioned when he signed. That's how it was positioned.
I think everyone knew why he was going to
movies and television.
Yeah, that's
no, that's sure.
Purpose.
Sure. Well, if we want to talk about the off the court stuff, sure, that's fine. I'm saying in terms of
the
what
only reason he went.
No, but what I'm saying is how they how Rich Paul, how the Lakers, how everyone positioned it when he signed was, I know this is a young team. I'm going to teach these young players how to win.
I think it was more of, this is a young team. This first year, we're going to play hard, and we have money to sign another max player. I think that's always been we're trying to bring in two max players. That's what Magic's been preaching the whole time. That's what LeBron is trying to do. That's why they were pushing for the Anthony Davis trade. They want two max players.
Wait a minute, that was Mahomes doing all this?
And maybe they can go with the young players too and see if Brandon Ingram can develop. LeBron sat out 15 games. I think if Brandon Ingram would have just balled out, that would have shown them something. They didn't ball out like that. And I think that's what it hurt the young players more than anything, is they didn't do what they had to do when LeBron was sitting out. But for the Lakers, if these young players can suck it up and be like, cool, we didn't get traded, now we're happy, now let's go play. Lakers were 4th in the West when LeBron went out. They can still get back, it's going to be 6 or 7. They're not going to get all the way back to 4. But they can still get into the playoffs. LeBron James, nobody wants to see LeBron James in the playoffs. I don't care what you say. I don't care who his teammates are. You don't want to see LeBron James in the playoffs.
I don't think Golden State would mind it.
Golden State. Is Golden State worried about anybody but the 96 Bulls? No, who are they worried about in the NBA unless you have them play the winner of the All-Star game? You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that's a worry at all. But I think other teams. I don't think Oklahoma City wants to see them. I don't think, even though Houston's beat them every game, Houston doesn't want to see them in the playoffs. Nobody wants to see LeBron in the playoffs. We know what he's been doing. Yeah, that's been in the East, but he's still got Cleveland there every year. He's been to the finals 8 times in a row. Like, you don't want to see him in the East. I mean in the playoffs. So
I get that, but I'm just saying, with the exception of the Clippers, who are kind of bowing out, Sacramento's a tough team. Utah's a tough team. San Antonio's a tough team. Houston, Portland, Oklahoma City, Denver, Golden State.
So you're gonna take Sacramento over LeBron James to get to the playoffs. Like, think about that.
If they
take the Laker equation away, but they've been playing well. LeBron just came back. He's been back for 2 games.
And they lost.
And this was during he came back during this trade talk fiasco.
But I got to get going here.
All right. Go ahead and do your thing, Dave. Thanks for calling in.
All right, gentlemen.
All right.
Thanks for having me on.
Take care.
But they were doing this through the fiasco. So, and I don't know how the young guys are going to come back.
That's the biggest question.
It's 2 ways.
That's
like,
the biggest
we can
question.
either fold or we can say, like, yo, we're still good.
Yeah.
Let's keep playing. It is a business. Because this is a learning experience for them for the rest of their career.
I'll say
because this is not going to be the first time that these players are going to be like.
Surely won't be the last.
You might get traded. You know what I'm saying?
I will say this though, Quan. What if they go the selfish route? So now I'm just out for my numbers. Because you know what I mean, like where it's
I'm
like
not
I'm
sure
not
if
going
they
to play.
could do that because LeBron just won't give him the ball. If he saw that, because he doesn't give him the ball anyways. He has the ball the whole time, so it's not like somebody else can control the ball.
Yeah.
So I mean, they could, but I don't see them doing that. It might take a couple games. It's definitely going to take LeBron talking to them. It's going to take Magic talking to them and Luke talking to them, and letting them know, because it is a business. It was just you're in LA, so it's going to be blown up so much bigger. But they did make a mistake putting out so many trade scenarios.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think Lakers got better.
You're not worth it. That's still too funny to me.
If they can play. It was hilarious.
That's really funny.
If they can get back to playing how they were playing before all this trade talk happened. They got two pieces that are really good, especially for LeBron. Like we need 3-point shooters, and we got them, and we got a good defender. So I think they got better on paper. But can these young guys come back from this? And how the Lakers going to feel? How are the Laker players? LeVar Ball talks a mess about Kyle Kuzma.
Oh, I didn't see that.
This has been going on the last 2 or 3 days.
I have to watch.
Talked about Kuzma. Talked about LeBron. Talked about Luke Walton.
Yeah, I did see the Luke Walton.
Talked about Magic Johnson.
I did see
Magic
that.
doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
How are they going to accept Lonzo back? It doesn't matter. Like, bro, you're already like, hey, bro, you only play good 2 out of every 6 or 7 games.
Yep. You'll have a game where
you need to tell your dad to shut the hell up.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, why are you letting him talk? Because now, look, you didn't even get traded. You're so worried about getting traded.
You didn't even get traded.
And it didn't happen. And now, look. Now you got a lot of mess to clean up for your dad.
How are you
because your dad's not going to clean up the mess.
That's right. Ever. He never apologizes.
He's not cleaning that up.
Ever.
Trying to sell some water.
It's
going to get you sick.
It's
He
not.
probably got it from Flint.
We just gonna clear that up. Throw some chlorine in it.
Exactly.
That's horrible.
Dad, why they got a growth coming out of their head? Come on, man. It's ridiculous.
Oh my goodness.
Sixers also got James Ennis.
Yeah.
Which is a good piece. I mean that's the thing. Once you get these guys, then you just build pieces around that fit. And I think he fits good in Philly also.
Yeah. Are you surprised Kemba didn't get traded?
No, I didn't. I think Hornets want to re-sign him. They have to, man. I mean,
wait a minute. So that's similar to the Wizards with John Wall. Don't you have to re-sign your All-Star when you get one?
He's not getting a Supermax.
He might.
No, you have to hit certain numbers.
No. It just depends on if he's all something, if he's all defensive, or if he's all like John was.
But I think it has to be like first.
No. John was all third team.
Really?
Yeah, that's how he got it. He got it on all third team.
Yeah,
and I think
I don't think Kemba gets a Supermax.
I'm just saying if he hits a benchmark, he can. He was an
But
all-star.
I mean, right now they're number 7 in the East, so I mean they're right now a playoff team.
I'm gonna go ahead and look Supermax up just in case for you.
But I mean, I don't know, but they have to try because they don't. Same thing. They don't have people flocking to the Hornets, and I want the Hornets to be good. I love the Hornets when they first came in the league.
Yeah.
Larry Johnson still, even though he didn't have a great NBA career, still one of my favorite players of all time. Especially with him and Zoe in the Hornets.
Yeah.
That was a fun. That was like one of my favorite teams to watch.
Curry.
That was back in the day when Lakers were struggling. So it's like I'm watching the Hornets. I'm watching the Orlando Magic with Shaq. Hornets. Del Curry.
Kendall Gill. Glenn Rice.
Don't say the one I want to say. Muggsy Bogues.
Oh, okay.
One of my favorite players of all time to watch, man. 5'3". Get to the paint anytime he wanted to.
From the DMV.
Could play defense, too.
Mm-hmm.
That's when everyone in the league played D, though.
Yes.
You didn't mess around. You had a couple players that didn't play D instead of now where you got a couple players that do play D.
Yes.
It was opposite back then, man. If you guys – man, I love the era we grew up in because we get the best of both worlds. We get to see this fun, exciting, score 150 points every game, NBA.
It's not exciting.
I like it.
I like defense.
But I do like back in the day better.
So do you want
back in the day, man?
Do you want me to give you Dennis's take? Because I asked him.
Yeah.
I was like, "Do you still watch?"
Talking about Dennis Rodman.
I was like, "Do you still watch NBA?" He's like, "I can't watch this."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Why?" He's like, "They don't."
But listen, you can't ask the best defensive player of all time that though.
Yeah, well, but you know what I'm saying, because they don't play. Like there's so much that they don't do, and then and I just love I love when I talk basketball with older people.
It will revert
older guys.
It will revert back into that in maybe 10 years.
When I talk to you guys, like you guys are like, "Oh, no, you don't get it. They're so smart."
But
I was
played
telling
in the NBA too, so they're kind of just over it. Like I love the NBA. Dude, I liked it better back then. I liked watching it better back then. I like seeing defense and offense because if you're scoring, then you're
working. Yeah, you're working to score. It's not just like it's turnstiles out here and you just get buckets. Yeah. And then, you're getting like, I mean, I put it to you like this. Imagine Larry Bird in today's game with the green light to just let it go at all times from 3-point range, and you're not running as many sets and you can get up 15 threes a night.
Yeah.
Like imagine what his game would have looked like or how he would have evolved.
Yeah.
It's definitely a different game. It's definitely more wide open. But I definitely do miss, like just watching that highlight, there's no one in the paint. Yeah. Like there's nobody in the paint ever. So you get those dunks because there's nobody there, and anybody that does get there, he's late. So he getting dunked on. So now it's a posterized situation.
And back in the day, you would see that with, like, you could do that against the Clippers. You could do that against the bottom 4 teams in the league. Right. But that wasn't happening if you got, like...
It wasn't happening in New York.
We're 9th seed. Like, I don't care. We're trying to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
We're putting you down. Like, you're not getting to the hole like that. We got pride, at least, even if we're not a great team.
You're going to get touched up.
We got some pride. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I mean, is it that they're making too much money? I know they've dumbed down the... I wouldn't even say dumbed down the game. They've changed the game to make it more of a scoring game.
Yeah, they not even so much dumbed down, but they've taken a lot of equipment away from the defensive side of the ball. They've basically changed the nature of how you play defense. You know, and I always use the term, you can't protect yourself.
Yeah.
Like, as a defender, I should be allowed to protect myself too. You can't just say that, oh yeah, you can't do that. And it's like, well, you're taking all my weapons away.
Yeah.
You're sending me into battle with literally rocks, and this guy's got machetes and guns and atomic bombs. Like, it's just not, I don't know. But to each its own, you know. I know it's very, very popular, and even though the players have no personality, it just kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
Kyrie's like one of the few that has a personality.
Well, Joel Embiid has
a personality.
Number one, I would say.
Yeah.
He's a Shaq-ish type player. Or type personality.
Type. Just can't speak as well.
Which makes it funny to me, though.
That's actually funny that I say he can't speak as well as Shaq, because Shaq was known for, we're gonna,
I know I got skills, man. I know I got skills. All right, let's talk about Kevin Durant, man.
Okay.
I was watching this when it happened, so it was pretty funny.
Are you gonna play the clip?
Yeah, let's find the clip.
Give me the clip.
Give me the clip. And you want me to play the whole clip?
I mean, it was like, what, a minute 30? You can do that. Oh, I need some food.
Yeah, I need to eat right now.
I'm a little hungry.
So we're about to close this out after this topic. Kevin Durant or Durant?
Durant?
And this isn't the first time he's went off on the media. So let's face that. Dang, man. How come that's not the first thing that pops up? I think this is going to be like someone talking over it. My bad. I should have already had it.
But yeah, I mean, it's when you know, I know that you and I we spoke about it on the group chat about Kevin Durant. The biggest thing to me is, you know, just how many things that happen up behind the scenes. I can let me see. Didn't hear back from Chris, so probably shouldn't call. But what was that?
You usually talk.
Okay, here you go.
And
So we'll play
hadn't
that
talked
right
for a while. Is it anything to do with anything on your mind, or has it just been coincidence that you haven't talked for some time?
Why do you care?
Because you usually talk.
Oh, well, I didn't feel like talking the last couple of days.
It was anything in particular?
No, I just ain't feel like it.
Had anything to do with conversation about free agency?
Yeah,
now that dude's baiting. That dude's baiting.
I don't think about that type of stuff. That's your job.
You've obviously been around the noise for so long. Is it bothering you more this year? Is it louder this year?
It's unnecessary. You got to do Ethan Strauss, who come in here and just give his whole opinion on stuff and make it seem like it's coming from me. And he just walk around here, don't talk to nobody, just walk in here and survey and then write something like that. And now y'all piling on me because I don't want to talk to y'all about that. I have nothing to do with the Knicks. I don't know who traded Porzingis. They got nothing to do with me. I'm trying to play basketball.
Okay, pause right
Y'all
there.
come here every day, ask me about free agency.
Okay.
So he brought it up. They didn't even bring up Porzingis.
Yeah, the first part, that part, perfectly in bounds. Now, I understand your notion of he might have went too far when he started to single him out and he started to go further. And I understand that. I understand where you're coming from.
Well, and I do agree. Like the reporter was baiting him, but that is the reporter's job. Like I want to get out what you're feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think he was rude about it.
No.
He, he did mention somebody else that I haven't heard what that guy said about Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he wrote.
But he obviously wrote something in relation to the Knicks.
But you're taking that out on 20, 30 people in that room now.
Yeah.
You're taking him out on all the reporters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and he did this in Oklahoma City too. We saw him go off on reporters.
Yeah.
And this is why my theory is there's zero chance he's going to the New York Knicks, because if he's mad at this media, a soft media in Oakland, He is not handling that media in New York because they don't care. They'll say all this stuff, but a lot more harsh.
Yeah. And it
a
won't
lot more
stop.
direct, and they're gonna lie a lot more. Peter Vessi's out there, bro. Peter Vessi will make a story on his own mother. And I like Peter Vessi. I watched him growing up.
I miss Peter Vessi, but he was a.
But there's a reason
dog.
he's not on like ESPN
anymore.
and NBC, and because he was, he's a little toxic.
You talk about toxic?
You talk about toxic? Peter Vessi's a little toxic.
He's
you want to go to New York?
100% toxic.
All right, bro. You can't handle that media.
No. I mean,
and that's why I don't think he's going to New York. I think watching this made me realize this dude's not going to New York.
Well, okay, so you can say the same about LA then too.
It's in your face media. It's not a harsh media though. It's a
Well,
it's
I think
the
maybe
same
the
type,
expectation.
but it's like
I think it's the expectation is much stronger.
Definitely,
because in New York,
especially because Knicks haven't done anything.
Yeah, there's no expectation. Yeah, I mean, there might be perceived expectation, but like
their
LA,
expectation is let's get to the playoffs.
Yes, LA is no, we need to win a championship.
You're not winning 3 with us.
Yeah, that's expectation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that part of it definitely would be heightened.
Yeah.
As far as the machine of it, no, you're right. New York is 10 times worse.
Yeah.
But no, I mean that's just something else to consider for sure. Because if you're right to your point, if he's struggling with Oklahoma City, and here, and Seattle, he's had smaller markets. Truthfully, I mean Oakland technically does also fall into San Francisco, so then the market does grow. But
it's a big market, but it's a soft market. They're not. They're not like that. They're chilling, bro.
I was about to say they got other things going on.
Chilling.
They got other things going on. No, that's true.
They're building computers and technology out there. They're cool.
That's true. But but back to my point, just in terms of I understand where you guys are coming from as far as going out of bounds. But the biggest thing that I just want you all to know is just that the media does a lot of things, even though the media also does a lot of things that help these players. A lot of times players don't truly know how to use the media to their advantage.
Yeah.
And constantly frame your message so you always look like the good guy.
Like LeBron, no matter what people feel about LeBron, maybe not framing himself as a good guy.
Yeah.
But he definitely he's very strategic with what he says in the media now. I don't think he was always like that.
Yeah.
I think they admit with the decision and stuff like that was a mistake.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know who he is because of it. I mean, that's not the only reason you know LeBron, but that's a big major thing in media that happened.
No,
and he's one of the biggest parts of that. You know what I'm saying?
And you can't take
the media sells you, and that's what I was talking to you about yesterday. Yeah. We wouldn't know we wouldn't be fans of the NBA like we are if it wasn't for it being on TV and the media making it something it needed to be. You know what I'm saying? And give props to David Stern for doing that back in the day and getting it out there. But you're right. Some of these media members can be really shady and really, try to be cool with you. But then they're going to write something that's like, yo, bro, we were chilling, having dinner.
Yeah.
And that's not really what I said. You know I didn't say it like that.
Yeah.
You wanted to get some clickbait because we do live in the clickbait area too.
Yeah.
So I know it does go both ways.
Yeah.
I've seen it just, in the Christian hip-hop media for so long. I see how they do stuff with Lecrae and different things like that. So I know how they manipulate, words and things people are doing. So I know it's like that. I just feel like with Kevin Durant, like, bro, you want to be the man in the NBA? Like,
if you can't handle the mantle, you gotta understand.
Like, have some sarcastic, like, hey, like, quit being so uptight about it. Like, because I don't think they were going at him that hard. And then who he has a line coming up. Let me play.
Go ahead. You can play the second half now.
I love the fans about it. Let us play basketball.
True.
That's all I'm saying. And now when I don't want to talk to y'all, it's a problem with me. Come on, man. Grow up.
They didn't say it was a problem. They just asked
No.
Grow up.
So, but he didn't say it was a problem, but he perceived like the way, and back to him baiting him, like, Kevin, you haven't talked to us in a few days. Like, was something wrong? Like, what was wrong?
Well, we're seeing what's up. We're not saying it's a problem, but
but see, that is also Quan. That's also code for you have to talk to us because if you don't, you will be fined.
Yeah.
And so the players do understand.
And you were talking about that with the fines.
Yeah,
and
the fines, Like this isn't the NFL.
Because now you think you own me because if I don't talk to you,
if I don't talk to
I'm gonna
you,
have to pay.
or I don't give you what you want, you're gonna hound me for it.
Because I think Rasheed got fined for everyone play hard, whatever that was. Where he just kept saying the same answer for every question.
Both teams played hard.
Because he didn't want to get fined for what he really wanted to say, which was,
F you,
how the refs were calling the game. Yeah,
that's right. Both teams played hard.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? So
but
it's
the grow up thing, like, if the reporter would have told him to grow up, there would have been
a whole lot more.
He would have been going at the reporter.
Yeah,
physically.
whole lot more. Going on.
My thing is when it comes to that,
you
like,
can't go out of bounds.
Because as media, we're here doing our job too.
Yeah.
If I work for a paper or a website, you don't work for papers no more. If I work for a site,
you can.
Yeah.
New York Post is still print.
Barely.
Trust me, people still. Whenever I go to New York and I'm on the train,
they got the print.
There's still dudes like this. To
you
this
got
day,
two on the subway.
To this day,
you got two on the subway. That's what a lot of people sleep under. But like, they have a job to do too. They can get fired if they don't do their job.
If they don't
have something to write.
Yeah. No,
they can get fired.
And so you have to respect. It has to be mutual respect.
It has to be mutual, though.
It has to be mutual.
And you're
respect.
right, because you can't.
Yeah.
But you also can't blame the whole room
for one guy.
For the class clowns.
Yeah.
That are causing, the drama. But sometimes the drama causers are the loudest people in the room too.
Yeah. And sometimes too, you have to kind of put the whole room on notice that, like, I will call you out.
Yeah.
Don't do this. You know what I mean? Like, but I maybe there's.
But I don't like.
Don't go too far.
Grow up.
Yeah.
Grow up.
Come on, bro.
Don't tell grown men to grow up.
Grow up. Come on, bro. Yeah.
Don't cause no problems.
Yeah.
Because
then he kind of goes into the pity party.
Well, you don't cause no problems. But there were problems with you and Draymond earlier in the season, which the media reported what happened on the court that we all saw.
And they kind of let it die.
And Draymond even had talked about it a little bit. Like, people knew what was said. And Draymond got suspended for that. So that had nothing to do with the media.
Yeah.
So to say that there's nothing, there is something there, because even the players feel like, hey, bro, why won't you totally commit? And like,
let's
what's
be
up?
done with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I play the right way. I try to be the best player I can be every possession.
And
what's the problem? What am I doing to y'all? You weren't talking. So, who are you? Why do I got to talk to you?
Dude didn't even get the question out.
Tell me.
Who are you? Like,
yeah, we'll grow up.
Because I don't make as much money as you. And that's what I don't like, because I've dealt with that, being media, trying to talk to some.
Well, anybody you get big timed. Anytime you get big time by anybody.
By anybody.
It don't matter what the situation is.
Especially, I've got big time by people that aren't big time. And I'm like,
yeah.
All right, bro, I've talked to people way more famous than you that are cool.
Yeah.
That I can call right now and do an interview on the phone.
And have a cool interview.
And you got like 40,000 Twitter followers thinking that the world knows you.
Yeah.
So I know how that is, doing media for so long and doing, radio for so long. I know how that is when someone, how many listeners do you have?
Yeah.
I'm like, it doesn't matter. Nobody knows who your artist is in Las Vegas. So we're going to get them, people that have never heard them before. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that's where I'm coming from, because I've never been a player in the NBA, but I also know how the media could be. And I know his frustrations, but he's not the first free agent in the history of the NBA. Even Scotty and Mac Tracy were talking about it too, how it's like, hey, man, you got to just ease up a little bit and learn. Like, of course these questions are going to come.
Yeah.
If you don't want those questions, sign the 4 or 5 year deal. So you don't have to be a free agent every year.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I'm saying?
No, truthfully, like, if you know that you don't like this, if you do want to just focus on basketball, then sign a deal.
Then just sign an extension right now.
And truthfully, and honestly,
or commit that, hey, I'm going to re-sign for 5-year max.
Yeah, and honestly, for me, like, I don't know why more players don't, like, throw in more trade incentives in their contracts. Because you can put that kind of stuff in there.
You
where
can put
you're like,
anything
hey, look,
in your contract.
Hey, like, if this ain't working,
yeah,
we'll mutually agree to work out trades. And these are the teams that I would, like, you can pre-approve all that stuff at the gate. Yeah. You know what I mean? But sign up now, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. So if things go belly up, then, hey, let's start talking about potential outs for both of us.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
But it's the more and more I listened to it, I understood where you were coming from. I just didn't, I always want you guys to know more about the player side too.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, no, there's just certain things that shouldn't be out of bounds. He was in bounds for much of his rant, but then you only have to do a couple things to step out of bounds. It's still a violation.
And then at the end, the reporter's like, okay, he don't want to talk about this. How have you guys been playing? How
Yeah, and he's like, goodbye, bro.
I'm done. You don't want to know that. It's like, so now I ask another question. So Kevin Durant went in there with his body language,
ready to go,
wanting to go,
ready to fire off.
And I think that's my problem.
Yeah,
is like you knew what you were gonna do when you went to that press conference.
That didn't inherently come out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you brought up Porzingis. No one said that. I don't know who traded Porzingis. The Knicks trading him, bro. Like they trading him with the hopes of maybe you or other people will come. You know what I'm saying?
You and friends.
Exactly. And
yeah.
Whether somebody said that
I still can't believe that Porzingis one. That one still hurts.
Yeah, Knicks. I mean, he didn't want to be there, and Knicks.
Yeah, no.
Hey, let's get some cap space there.
Yeah,
let's. We didn't really want this Tim Hardaway Jr. contract. We didn't want this Courtney Lee contract. Let's get rid of these contracts, and the only way we can do it is to get rid of him. He's not happy. Him and his brother keep coming in here trying to run things. This is New York.
Yeah.
He's been hurt. We don't know. A big man men don't always come back.
7'4", ACL.
And he's been hurt. He's been hurt before that ACL. So,
yeah.
I mean, I like Porzingis. I hope he's healthy.
I hope so, too.
I hope him and Luka play 10, 12 years with Dallas and tear it up like Dirk and Steve Nash should have.
Yeah. I was about to say could have.
Could have and should have.
Yeah.
Cuban.
Yeah.
I know that's probably the biggest mistake he ever made by not paying
Steve
Nash because he won 2 MVPs after that. But I think they have the potential.
I don't think he deserved both of them MVPs.
Don't talk to me about that.
I know. Because Kobe definitely deserved one and Shaq deserved another.
Talk to me about that. Gosh.
Yeah.
Maybe one, but that was like, oh, your team's great. And
that second year, it was like, what?
You're a very nice white guy.
Hey, he was a cold white boy, though.
Hey, he was balling.
He was cold now. I'm not taking nothing away from Steve Nash. That's 96.
But listen, a lot of trades happened. A lot of NBA's year-round. And that's why, like, I know you get mad that we talk about it all the time, but sometimes everything else is better than, like, the games. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much going on around that in the trade deadline. And now the trade deadline's over, but now you got the buyout season.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So the buyout season lasts a week or two.
Buyout watch.
And exactly. Oh, who's going to get bought out? Now where are they going to go? Because those buyouts can change a team.
Yeah, no, they can. They can. Did you, not sure if you heard about this, when you hear about the Lakers possibly wanting to go after Tristan Thompson.
No.
Yeah.
Is he getting bought out?
Maybe.
I don't want him.
I know.
I'll take Carmelo. I'm not even mad about the Carmelo thing. He's better than Michael Beasley. Like, the problem with him going to OKC in Houston is it's supposed to be part of a big three.
Yeah.
With him going to the Lakers, he's a role player off the bench where there's no pressure on him. There's not even pressure on the Lakers to perform great with him.
Yeah.
He's going to be a role player that, honestly, under LeBron, I think might be a good thing for him if he realizes what his role is. But I think Houston did him dirty, first of all.
Yeah, no.
You're telling me Houston can't use a Carmelo Anthony
right now?
14 points a game?
Right now?
Hitting some threes? I know Carmelo could still play. I don't think he's trying to say I need to be the best player on the team.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at he's better than Michael Beasley.
Like I said, Michael Beasley now, anytime he's not around LeBron, he's averaging 18 a game, 15, 18 a game.
Kind of.
No.
No, he did cool with New York last year, but then kind of fading off.
But see, before that, I'm trying to think. Hold on, I'll pull up.
But listen, if the story was true, where he went at Luke Walton, where they had to hold him back, that kind of shows too for the Lakers. Like, hey, Luke, we got your back, because we could have easily just tried to fire Luke instead if there was drama in the locker room. But Beasley has never not been known as a head case either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Carmelo's better than Michael Beasley. I don't even think that's a question.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can't.
And sadly, he's a better defender than Michael Beasley, which is saying nothing. But I wouldn't be mad at Lakers getting Carmelo. I'm not ecstatic, you know what I'm saying, but I just don't think it's not gonna hurt the team like it did OKC because they expecting him to be the second or third best player on the team, and that wasn't happening.
Sorry. So when he was in Minnesota, he averaged 19 a game. Then he dropped down to 11 and 10. Then he was over in China. Then hopped back in Miami. Got back to Miami after averaging like 35 in China and was averaging 8.
Yeah, but China numbers don't equate to NBA numbers. I mean, Jimmer Fredette is averaging probably 40 points a game. He come out here average 6.
No, I mean, not necessarily.
Jimmer will never try to come back here. He's a god out there.
No, he's a little god.
He's a little god.
Don't he didn't like that.
He's not Marbury. I almost called him Curry. He's not Steph Marbury.
No, he's not Stefan, excuse me.
Stephon Marbury.
Yeah.
He next to Buddha.
You
got Stephon Marbury.
Steph made a good business decision when he did that.
Yeah.
Because his career was it wasn't over, but it was definitely starting to fade. And he saw the writing on the wall that he wasn't gonna be a winner.
Yep.
He went over there, was one of the first ones to go, and created a whole new dynamic for himself. Yep. So
it's real, man. Well, that's our show today, man. To close it out, want to talk about Frank Robinson. Passed away today at 83, lived a great life. First black manager in Major League Baseball.
First black GM
in 1975.
Yep.
So with all this, like, in the NFL with the head coaches and, like, there's black 1975. So that was the year before I was born.
Yeah.
That there was the first ever, and Major League Baseball has been around longer than any other sports out here.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the first ever in 1975. So
when he retired, only Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, Willie Mays ahead of him in home runs.
Yeah.
He hit, I believe it was 586 home runs. Very, very good player. One of the original great black ball players.
Yeah.
In Major League Baseball, he retired the same year as Hank Aaron. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely lost a good one, but like you said,
lived a good life.
Let a good life, let an impactful life.
Yeah. Very impactful. I mean, that's a historic thing to become the first black manager.
First
in
anything.
Major League. Yeah.
First anything. You're in the history book.
Exactly. So, man, shout out to him, his family, and just the legacy that he will leave because he was great. So shout out to that. More baseball news coming up on Monday. Will these players get signed, man? Because there's a lot of other players waiting.
Yeah, waiting on those
get signed
deals.
because they got to get signed
hey,
first.
Look. I know we're shutting it down, but yeah, I mean, I blame a lot of this on Scott Boras.
Why is that?
Because he always would hold guys off, and he always wanted to control the market.
Who is that?
Scott Boras is the super agent.
Okay.
So similar to like when Drew Rosenhaus was like really going real big in the NFL. Scott Boras, he's had A-Rod, he's made, like, Scott Boras is worth I think like $700 million.
Whew.
Yeah, quiet.
Get that money, bro.
Quiet. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, I blame a lot of it on him.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we will talk more about that. They have to sign this weekend, man.
They gotta sign somebody.
Has to be. But check us out every Monday, 4 p.m. West Coast time, every Thursday, 2 p.m. West Coast time. Download the app and listen to the podcast. You can get the podcast anywhere you can get podcasts. But all the podcasts are on the app and the video replay. So make sure you get that. And this has been Unnamed Sports Show on Guerilla Cross Radio. And we're outro.